Good evening, Kenton community. My name is Sabatino Sumato. I am your superintendent, and this is your weekly connection update. A rather abbreviated connection this week, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a lot of updates during the week. I'm not going to repeat all of those updates. In the connection, you can find some directions, and we'll talk about that of how to get to all those updates if you missed any of them. But I'm going to just hit some very poignant issues that are still topics that need to be clarified that I want to hit on today. So that's how we're going to start, and then we're going to get right into our recognition. So once again, a pretty short update today, but let's get going. First, I just want to review what happened this past week, and then we'll get into what's coming up over the next several weeks. On Tuesday, as you know, I presented to our Board of Education at our meeting on Tuesday evening about our plans to return to 5 days of instruction for our elementary level beginning on April 26th. So that's not this upcoming week, next week, but it's the week after, the week of April 26th. That was on Tuesday evening. We also had our district reopening task force meeting. Again, that happens quite regularly. And that meeting was on Wednesday morning. And then on Wednesday afternoon, we had our parent cabinet meeting that took place. Then last night, as many of you are aware, we had our stakeholder meeting for questions and answers at all of these meetings. But our stakeholder meeting, we replicated our presentation from during the week. And then we also had a team of people together answering as many questions as possible. So today is our final step with information. Actually, I should say our final presentation of information. Our final step will be that we're going to take all of this information together, put it into a frequently asked questions document, and post it on our website. You'll be able to find that in that same place on our district website that you can find all of these presentations. So on our main page of our district website, if you go under district reopening, you could find everything underneath there, including any of the results that are going to be in that FAQ. So a couple very important points to sum up and to make sure we hit on today. First of all, the first one, transition into 5 days, Monday, April 26th for our elementary only. Be ready for that. We are moving forward with that, ladies and gentlemen. This upcoming week, the week of April 19th, we will have Wednesday of attendance at our elementary level, and it will be Group B students. So that the actual date is Wednesday, April 21st. That's this upcoming week. So once again, our A students will come on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Our B students will come on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. This upcoming week is still a week of hybrid instruction at the elementary level, but we added Wednesday for our B students. And the Big Picture program will also add Wednesdays as days of instruction beginning on April 21st. This next point is a very, very important topic, and it's dealing with transportation for our elementary families. And folks, we sent out this message, but we didn't discuss it in any of our presentations, so I want to make sure I hit on it and really explain it. Our elementary families, transportation is remaining the same. And what I mean by that is, even though we're going to be transitioning to 5 days of instruction at the elementary level, whatever your transportation has been this year, that will remain for all 5 days. So for example, if you were an A student before and only coming on Monday and Tuesday, it's very important to understand wherever we were dropping you off, wherever we're dropping your child off for that Monday and Tuesday, we're going to drop them off in that same location now Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday when we shift to that 5 days the week of the 26th. So wherever we know to drop your child off in the afternoon, we will replicate that for all 5 days. If there is a change for any families, you have to please contact our transportation department, and you could do so right through our website. The link is right in the weekly connection, but I'm going to read it to you. www.ktufsd.org/transportation. If you have to change anything. If you don't change anything, then your child's drop-off will remain the same for all 5 days as it did for those 2 days that we've been in already for hybrid instruction. I hope that makes sense. So the destination will remain the same unless we hear from you as a family. Our next point is we've talked a lot about breakfast, and a point of clarification. I let the community know that one of the things that we are keeping in our back pocket when it comes to our breakfast, when it comes to eating, is our breakfast time has been a challenge, and we may need to send breakfast home the evening before. Folks, we're not going to be able to send breakfast home the evening before. We've been informed by the state that all children must eat breakfast while at school in the morning. So with that being said, remember the challenge. We could be 3 feet apart in the classroom, but when masks come down, we have to be 6 feet apart. That includes eating. So all the children cannot eat in the classroom at the same time. We have it figured out for lunch. We're still figuring it out for breakfast. I want everyone to be aware. This does not mean that any of our arrival times are going to change in the school per se, but we may have various times for kids to eat breakfast during the morning. That might be one of the solutions that we have to land on. And I really want to encourage all of our families, all of the schools, elementary, middle, and high school, will be having information sessions next week to really touch on these points. One of them will be breakfast at our elementary level in their information session. So I want you to watch for those informational sessions and really sign on to those and really be looking for that information to come out from the individual schools. Another thing that will come out from the individual schools at the high school and middle school level, they'll be talking more about their Wednesday of instruction. Remember, we're not adding Wednesdays at the secondary level. We're not adding 5 days at the secondary level. You could watch all those presentations that we did this week to understand why and what the challenges are there according to the guidance. But we are continuing to change what our Wednesday model is at the secondary level, and schools will have more information even as early as today to our families at the secondary level regarding that. So that big message is for breakfast. We will not be sending breakfast home the day before. We know that that cannot happen, but I want families to understand that while children are in school, we may have some various breakfast times. Might be a solution that schools are looking at. Now, a reminder on that, our transportation does not change. I know that there was some confusion because one of our local news agencies reported that we're going to be looking at staggered times. Folks, we're not changing transportation times. We already have staggered times in Kenton. Our high schools get transported at a time, our middle schools get transported at a time, and our elementary schools get transported at a time. We're always looking for more bus drivers to increase transportation. That's what I said last evening, and we'll continue to do that, but I don't want our elementary families panicking. Our transportation pickup times at your bus stops remain the same, and our trip home for our elementary students also remains the same. Staggered times might be happening when it comes to schools asking parents that drop children off if they could stagger a little bit, and 5, 10, 15-minute stagger during our typical arrival time. That's the only thing that may change. Bus transportation is not changing when it comes to that. And just to recap, during this past week, we've received a great deal of feedback. We've had a lot of questions come through. We've answered a lot of questions. We'll be putting everything up on our FAQ that's going to be posted on our website. And also, I just want to finish this section with this. As a school district, we've been extremely cautious throughout the year, and we're confident that our elementary schools are ready to transition to 5 days of in-person instruction. Now, folks, this has been no easy task, and our entire community should be proud of how far we've come together as an entire community since September. This would not have been possible without everyone's support, from our administrators and teachers to all of our families at home to our support staff, for all of your hard work and dedication. That's how we continue to move forward. We've had this fear before. We had this fear during our winter season when we started coming back into hybrid, and I know that we have a lot of anxiety coming to this 5 days, but together we're going to figure it out. Remember, we know that schools are some of the safest places in our community, and we've demonstrated that throughout this pandemic. Even though this fear of COVID still exists, our teamwork has been the formula for success, and I'm confident our teamwork will enable us to persevere during this next transition, just like we have in the past. Let's stay Kenton together. And to finish off this week, it's our recognition, and this week we recognize the Kenmore-West Environmental Club. Thursday, April 22nd is Earth Day, and today we recognize the Kenmore-West High School Environmental Club, which launched a plan to inspire the school district community to observe and celebrate Earth Week. The club is led by Denise Amato, a teacher aide at Kenmore-West. Their plan includes different themes and activities for each day of the week. Senior Rebecca Nagel did an amazing job creating a beautiful graphic for the initiative, while senior Jillian Haynes conducted research and compiled the details and information. We commend Rebecca, Jillian, Miss Amato, and all those who were helping to spearhead this initiative and inspire students, staff, and families. Great job. And folks, that brings us to the end of our Kenton Connection, and I just want to reiterate, working together, that partnership that we've had all along, that we continue to have, that we continue to get stronger with, will enable us to be Kenton proud. It will keep us Kenton strong, and together we will persevere and bring Kenton forward. Thank you very much for all of your positive energy. Everyone in our community, our wonderful teachers, administrators, and our families. Let's do this together. Have a great weekend.